The main tip, I guess, though, about if you've got a business idea and you're wondering if this is something in it, is it something real, could I turn it into a business? Validation is really key. So, what problem is it that you're solving? Who are you solving that problem for? And have you spoken to enough people to get that feedback that, there's a real market for something like this? It's not just some idea that you've come up with.
A Kangaroo Fern production.
Welcome
to Guerrilla Podcast, Fresh Eyes.
The beat that makes you feel good.
A weekly podcast that features interviews with social change leaders or individuals that aims to bring audiences good stories to motivate their own social impact efforts. Now, here's your host.
Welcome to Guerrilla Podcast, Fresh Eyes. This episode, we're talking about startup. So, do you want to take your business or idea to the next level? So, startup, hustle mode, so how to grow your business. And we're lucky enough to have a guest who is doing this for a long time. She got his own company. It's Switch Start Scale. And please welcome Wendy Perry. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for the invitation.
Before we go ahead, can you tell us about yourself?
Sure thing. So from a business point of view, I've run a company for 17 years. That's called Workforce Blueprint. And just recently, we were lucky enough to win the contract from the Australian government to be the Entrepreneurship Facilitator for Adelaide. And that program's called Switch Start Scale.
Tell us about the Switch Start Scale.
Sure. So the idea behind it is that we really need more people to start up their own business and to scale up to employ other people. So we want to see more people, coming up with business ideas, going from a side hustle to a startup, and also then scaling up and being a bit of a standout. So the program has three main components to it. First part of it is coaching and mentoring, and people can tap into that as much as they like. Most people come about once a month, helps keep them accountable. Then there's a whole series of events, tours, we host delegations, lunches, whatever we find that people need in terms of professional development, we can put into those. And then the third part of it is just more broadly promoting entrepreneurship with schools, community groups, making sure that people understand that it's a legitimate option in terms of self-employment.
What do you think, if I have an idea right now and I don't know where to start, what is your help and tips to get into entrepreneurship?
Well, I guess it depends what stage you're at. So some people have the ideas still in their head and they haven't yet put anything down on paper or, they haven't got any way of describing what it is. So when I catch up with people, we usually do an A to Z of everything required for that business idea to turn it into reality. Similar process if you've got an existing business and we need to figure out what we should hone in on, what are the priorities. The main tip, I guess, though, about if you've got a business idea and you're wondering if this is something in it, is it something real, could I turn it into a business? Validation is really key. So, what problem is it that you're solving? Who are you solving that problem for? And have you spoken to enough people to get that feedback that, there's a real market for something like this? It's not just some idea that you've come up with one day.
So it's not easy to into the business. So you have to research as well. What is the best niche to do a business? In your experience, is there a lot of people wanted to talk to you just to like a business plan? Do we need to have a business plan?
You need to have some sort of plan, but not really a big fan of old-fashioned, thick business plans. Because what happens is now, people might write them, they'll do all of this research. More of a focus has to be on the action side of it. So, that's all good. You definitely have to do research. You have to make sure that you're speaking to the right people, though. Some people will go to events or networking and they'll talk to people and they've got all this advice and they'll speak to different coaches and mentors. But you still have to filter that information and advice. Is it true? Is it correct? Has that person got any kind of insight into what I'm trying to do? And some people go to events for support and networking, but they're not where their target market actually is. So you've really got to hone in on, for this particular group of people that I might be targeting, this particular product, service experience, where should I be getting true kind of feedback and advice?